Hey Ghost, it's Manny. Breakpoint's been released now, and even with all the bugs, I really still enjoy the game. There are, however, a few changes I'd love Ubisoft to make. These are what I call or refer to as quality of life changes and are specifically not bug fixes. I'm purposely leaving bugs out of this video because, let's be honest, bugs should be fixed. But instead, focusing on features that are working as intended, but could be changed to make your time in Aroa more enjoyable. These are things that can be monotonous and or just don't seem to be needed. Let's start with bivouacs. Why does the cutscene have to play every time? Can we please have a setting that disables it? Does anyone sit through this? I mean, really? Gonna see Nomad set up his half shelter every single time? That was way too long. Let's get a setting. The only reason I ever go inside the bivouac is I don't really do preparations. I haven't crafted anything. I don't really shop for anything. I go for the garage. So I would love a default vehicle assignment. It's crazy that every time I fast travel to a bivouac, I have to enter it to select the same vehicle every single time. Boom, oversee it with rockets. Mark II. That's all I do. Every single time. Thank God the helicopter's on the first page. But this does bring me to a next gripe, right? Which is another annoying thing in the bivouac is when you're in here with a teammate and you try to leave and they're not ready, you get stuck and have to wait for them to be ready. Sometimes I've had teammates go, oh, I'm going to run to the restroom. And I'm like, I could already be halfway to the next point and he could spawn on me when I land. But nope, we have to wait a minute or two for him to get back. Or they could be mucking around with their loadouts or something for some reason. I know I've had guys do that, clean out their inventory. So why can't I leave? All right, so now we break camp. Now, once you summon a vehicle and leave the bivouac, you then have to find said vehicle. I was shocked when I went to a few bivouacs and the vehicle was not in sight. Whose bright idea was that? You know, they designed this map with bivouacs and later discovered that they need to allow users to summon vehicles because it took too long to get between places. But they couldn't put the garage next to all the bivouacs because of trees and stuff. So, I have a suggestion. Since every bivouac has a garage, how about just move the bivouac to the garage? Sometimes you have to climb up or down a hill just to find the garage. And why doesn't Nomad spawn facing the garage every time? It's the little things in life that make it tolerable. A game that allows you to hold up to 300 pieces of gear should have a decent inventory management system. Now, I know Ubisoft did not develop the division, but they are the publishing company for it, and given the game's inventory management system, you think they would have come up with a better one than they did for Breakpoint. I purposely didn't dismantle any gear for a while just for this video, and I've almost filled my entire inventory, and right now I'm regretting it. It's going to take me a long time to dismantle it all. What I'd like to see is some way of marking items as junk in here somewhere, so we can hit X to dismantle, equip, G for edit in the gunsmith, but what about just junk? And then that way we can quickly afterwards, back in the screen, just hit a button to dismantle all junk. With that, I'd also like a way to mark it as a favorite. So that way you don't accidentally dismantle it. Instead of the fakakta way they set presets up with, and you have this star, and I can't dismantle these because it's part of a preset. Which brings us to presets. I really don't understand why they implemented this feature the way they did. Here's what I understand about presets. You can only set them in the bivouac, and the first time you choose a class in the bivouac, you automatically set the gear and weapons you are currently using to the first preset, the default one. Now, that gear is locked and you can't dismantle it. The only way to change it is to go back to your loadout screen while you're in the bivouac and switch your stuff around. And now I have my default preset. Now my default preset is 255. Now this gear is all locked, which I don't want. So what I did is I purposely set all my default gear to my level 1 stuff. And unfortunately, I have too much gear in here right now. You don't get a hat. You don't get a cover. So that's just the lowest one I had. So I kept all my lowest gear so that it just makes it easier to set for presets. So all my default presets are my level 1 gear, with one exception. So you get a level 1 pistol. You don't get level 1 primaries. So instead, I have a level, I think 7 and then 146 or something like that. Level 7 DMR, and then unfortunately, I accidentally deleted. I had like a level 7 ASR, but I deleted it. I dismantled it one time, so instead I just kept the 146. That way I know which ones I want. So now I go back to tactics, and now there's my default preset again. So all mine, if you look at level 33, it's all the same. The ASR and the DMR might be switched, but that's it. This is just crazy. I also played a single match of Ghost War and was stuck with my level 33 gear score, this stuff, because I couldn't, like, if I wanted to switch classes. So I think Panther was the only class that had my current gear in, so I couldn't play Medic, which I wanted to, or Assault. I had to play Panther because it was the only one that didn't have a level 33 gear score. Ubisoft should allow us to create presets outside the Bivouac, and don't allow us to switch gear in combat if that's the case. Just allow us to switch weapons at any time. We should still be able to dismantle gear that is assigned to a preset. Just warn us first before we dismantle it, and for the love of all that good, tell us which preset it is assigned to. The next thing I'd like to talk about, or rather, complain about, are the ungrateful NPCs. I can't remember ever hearing a single one of them thank me when I rescue them, or even when I clear a town of Sentinel troops. All I ever get is, leave me alone, you're scaring me. I mean, man, sorry I just came in and liberated your town and all.
Knock it off, okay?
I mean, we learned early on from the Mole that Trace Stone is harassing and abducting civilians. You think these fools would be more grateful? It's getting real old hearing all negativity. I'm now going so far as to shoot all civilians who mouth off to me.
Already. Just, you're upsetting me, okay? Just stop with this shit, okay?
Now, if I accidentally kill someone's friend or family during a gunfight, I get it. When I swoop in, save the day, with no civilian casualties, I'd like to hear a little thank you. Now I sound like Colonel Jessup from A Few Good Men.
I would rather you just said thank you and went on your way.
On to the TAC map. So, I have 2 faction missions selected. Now, it's a lot easier now that I've gotten a lot of the side missions and main missions done, and I've collected a lot of the blueprints. But it used to be miserable with lots of orange, yellow, green, blue dots everywhere. I'd have a hell of a time trying to find which ones I have selected. And I'd be scrolling back and forth looking up. This is easy because they're up here. I happen to see them. I wish... So they have a focus. Boom, right to your character. I'd like a button that says, okay, go to the first one. Boom, hit it again, it goes to the second one. So you know exactly where it is. I hate, like, it was miserable when I first started doing this. When I first started playing, I wanted to get the faction missions done, and I just couldn't find them. I'd start up here, and I'd, like, slowly, and then, of course, you're highlighting things, and it covers half the map. Then you go over here, and you're trying to, like, slowly scroll down and find, and you do something like that, and all of a sudden the map jumps over. So I would just like a button. Boom. Pops right over here. Centers this in the middle. Boom. That's the one I want to do. Okay. So now I could zoom in and find a place to fast travel to, right? That's all I need for that. One of my biggest pet peeves is the hillslide. We're supposedly controlling one of the, if not greatest Spec Ops characters of all time, Nomad. And he slips and slides down a hill like a greased pig. How about giving us the option to do a controlled slide and allowing us to use our primary weapon as we go down? I can't tell you how many times I slid down a hill to be annihilated by enemy troops on the way down. The last thing I hope they implement is cross-platform. Now, I know Ubisoft has talked about making sure that they do this in cross-platform, but you got to think about it. When the player base decreases, and it's going to, and it already has, across all platforms, this will allow them to keep a healthy player base. Instead of having PS4, Xbox, and PC really low, each one of them, we'll actually have one big giant player base. I also personally like playing online with different people, so it also limits who I can play with. If it's cross-platform, I can play with PS4, Xbox, as well as PC. Alright, that's it for my hopeful changes, and remember, I purposely left bugs out because they should fix all the bugs. These were gameplay features I wish they would change. Are there any features you wish they'd change? Well, let me know below. And also, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It really helps out a lot. And also, feel free to leave any other general comments below as well. I'd love to hear from you. We also have a growing Discord community where you'll be able to squad up with other ghosts and trade tips and tricks. The link is in the description below. If you'd like to see more Breakpoint content, then smash that subscribe button and also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Maniocrity, where I stream Friday, Saturday, and Sunday starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, ghosts, take it easy.